Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Ohio Guys here. I'm Christian Ocampo, and today we're in Chicago, Illinois for Call of Delete. And today I'm joined by Mr. David Wald.
Hi, everybody. What's happening, Ohio guys, etc.?
We're doing very good. How are you doing today?
I'm excellent, man. I'm swimming in love here in Chicago. Although I guess officially we're in Des Plaines, right? And that's Des Plaines, not Des Plaines. Rosemont. Okay. Whatever. There are so many suburbs of Chicago. What is wrong with you people? Just be a city. I joke. I kid. I lived in Elmhurst for 2 years, so I know the suburb. I know the suburb racket.
Glad you do. All right. Well, we have some questions we'd like to ask you. First of all, what was it like working on Akame Got Kill?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, Akame Got Kill. Bulat was, for me, an earth-shattering character, a gay character who, whose gayness wasn't his only contribution to the narrative. I'd never seen that before in any medium ever, so it kind of started me on a trajectory, and I'm still on that trajectory. So I have great love for Bulat and great love for Kyle Jones, who directed that adaptation, who cast me in that role and changed everything.
Awesome.
Yeah. And what a glorious death. Spoiler. He doesn't, it's not true. He doesn't die. We'll edit that out, right? Okay, good.
All right. Second question. What was it like working on Gate?
Oh, again, a Kyle Jones show. You know, Kyle Jones gives me all my most fun roles. I love that man. I just love him. Yeah. I loved Gate. I loved Yoji Itami. His sense of humor was very akin to my own, you know. Yoji's probably about as close to me as an anime character has gotten so far. So that was a lot of fun. Funny story, though. I had just finished recording for Street Fighter V. Did a character named Zeku in Street Fighter V. And it was... like a solid week or 2 weeks, I can't remember now, of recording. And it was the first time I'd ever done like a major session for a game. And I was not prepared for all the screaming and dying, right? So I did it and I was fine. But at the end of that session, my voice was gone. I was like, ah. So I returned to Houston on Sunday and was to begin sessions for Gate on Monday. So I will give you the answer. Pei Pakwa, which is honey loquat syrup from China, and it's amazing. I don't know what's in it. I don't care. It works wonders in some throat coat tea, and I was good to go.
Secret Chinese secret.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But yeah, I was worried. I landed on Sunday with basically no sound coming out of my pipes, and I showed up 9 o'clock Monday morning, functional. It was pretty impressive.
Great show. Glad you worked on it.
Thank you. Yeah, I loved Gate. I loved it.
So another question, and this is a wacky show you guys work on.
I loved the wacky.
What was that working on Metal Management, Mr. Tonugawa?
Oh, well, we're still working on that. And once again, a Kyle Jones show. Kyle just gives me my goofiest roles. But like, the narrator in Mr. Tonugawa is about as off the chain as it gets. And the reason we're able to do that is because he's a narrator and you never see his mouth. So as far as I'm concerned, that's like my playground, you know? So we're just in there and we'll record it and we'll just like riff and have fun and do goofy stuff. And Kyle will pick the ones he wants to keep and scrap the ones he doesn't. So it's a little like an improv game. I mean, the dialogue is there. We change it up a little bit, but it's like, listen, for any voice actor, when you've got a character who like you never see their mouth, you know, if you don't like they're wearing a mask or they've got a mouth that doesn't move or like they're just a narrative voice or whatever, it's like butter. It's just it's so much fun because you can get away with so much stuff.
And the screaming.
And lots of screaming, yes. And lots of random accents. But that's the thing. Like, the narrator lives in his own universe, right? He's not attached to anything real. So I can do a Jacques Cousteau impression. I can do, I think we got a Sean Connery impression on the way. I can do, like, you can do anything. And as long as it fits the tenor of the show, then, like, it's gold.
It is. I always love this show.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to work on.
All right, and here's another interesting show you got to work on at Funimation. Why was that picking on Overlord?
Overlord, yeah, my lizard man. That was nice. Like, that was kind of a warm, fuzzy, paternal, nice character. You know what I mean? And it's nice to play guys like that because, you know, usually they want this guy, and they don't want him to be like super heavy duty and like, you know what I mean? But like to play a character who's just like a chieftain and kind of a badass, yeah, but also just like a nice character with a heart and a soul. Like, it's very rewarding to voice characters like that.
So another Funimation show you got to work on, why was that picking on Citrus?
Citrus, I was really, really happy. I, of course, played the neglectful father who shows up once in Citrus with no shoes on for some reason, kind of a hippie guy. And I was really glad to be part of that. I thought Citrus was telling an important story, and I was happy to be part of it.
Great.
Yeah.
So now to change up the pace, now we're going to your ADR stuff. Why was that picking Aura, Koga Miyun's
Koga Maryuin's Last War. Yeah. First time I ever directed anything. I did it. They had to kind of convince me to direct that. I had never directed anything before, ever. So I wasn't really ready for that. But as soon as they, once they finally convinced me, it was the ADR manager at the time at Sentai Filmworks, Brittany Deans. God love her forever, because she talked me into it and created a monster. Like, now I can't get enough of it. Can't get enough of directing. I love it. But yeah, working on that film was nice, and it was particularly because it's really everything I've directed to this day is all like slice of life, right? And Aura had a certain heightened element of like, they had sort of the fantasy sequences of the two primary characters, who were both living in a sort of an elevated reality. But for the most part, it was a situational, it was slice of life, it was a, sort of romance almost, except not really about a romance. So I really liked that, and I've gained quite a love and quite an affinity, I think, for directing this slice of life.
All right. Another directing show you got to work on was that picking on Hitorijime, My Hero.
Hitorijime, My Hero represents a couple of years of fighting to get stories like Hitorijime, My Hero dubbed. I couldn't possibly be more gratified to have been able to work on that show. I think it's very important because it tells an actually queer story about actually queer characters who know that they're queer, they're coming to terms with it, they're like living, they're living in those years when you struggle with that. Having struggled with it myself, I know that story, and to have been able to render that story in a narrative form was infinitely rewarding, and I can't think of a better way to describe it. It's just infinitely rewarding, and I think it's a very important thing. It's very, very important that these stories be told, because they're all over anime. We just tend to avoid them in the dubbing industry. I'm trying to bring some change to that, and we got more coming.
Keep the change happening.
Yeah. Make that change. Start with the man in the mirror, just like Michael Jackson. Shimon. I guess I should follow up with a Shimon. Maybe a hee-hee.
Thanks. All right, another show you got to direct that's featured by High Dive was like working on Tada, Never Falls in Love.
Oh, I love those kids so much. Like, I just want to go to that coffee shop and hang out with those kids. They're so awesome. I love them. I loved working on Tada, Never Falls in Love. It's such a charming show and, like, funny. You know, I mean, a lot of times in shows like that, the comedy seems a little forced, you know? But I thought Tada, in its original inception, was really beautifully written. And our script writer for that show was, for the adaptation, was Marissa Lenti, who just killed it. Just killed it with that script. Such funny stuff. And of course, it's streaming right now, and we're just about, I think, tomorrow is when episode 12 hits, and then episode 13 comes a week after, and that's the last episode. So it's building up to kind of a fever pitch. And for all the comedy and all the cuteness, like, the ending is emotional. And I mean, that show really turns it on you, and it will bring the tears. It sure does for me, man. Directing those sessions, I'm like, okay, we just need to take that one more time. Can you slow the line down a little bit? Oh, God! You know, like, kills me. I'm such a sap, though. I'm an emotional sap. I'm a wreck.
I can't wait until the last episode drops.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it's a killer script. It's a killer cast. I mean, Josh Greeley and Sarah Wiedenhaft as the two leads are just nailing it. Like, I love hearing Josh play a character who has trouble showing his emotions. Like, that's unusual for Josh. Usually a character he plays is like all the way out there, you know what I mean? And like, I cast him in that role because I wanted to hear him restrain that the same way that Tada restrains it. Because I figured as you hear Josh Greeley restraining that propensity to be like emotional and like completely embrace the emotional intent of a line, you're hearing Tada resist embracing the emotional intent of a line. I thought it was a lovely little twist, and Josh just has done such beautiful work on it. And Sarah, like, it basically, I think it might be, the life might get more adorable than Sarah Wiedenhaft in that role, but it's not legal. It's not legal to be cuter than Sarah Wiedenhaft is in that role. Yeah, like, she's so adorable and she kills me, and I love her Danish accent so much. It just fills me with happiness. And we've got two relative newcomers to a voiceover in that show, in the form of Mike Himoto, who plays Kaoru, which was a really tough role to cast because Kaoru is basically he's like an anime version of my best friend since high school. So like, a lot of consideration went into casting that role. I mean, it meant a lot to me because this was my guy in high school. This was my best friend. It's just like him, you know, just completely off the chain all the time, and a heart of total gold. Like, still my best friend. Love you, Luther. So Mike is killing it. He's just so funny. And of course, in the last couple of episodes, just like everything else, Kaoru gonna get some feels from you. Look out. He just makes me emotional just thinking of it. As Alec, we have Avery Smith-Hart. Smith-Hart. It's hard to spell and it's harder to say. Avery, see somebody, would you? Avery Smith-Hart, who is... she's done a couple of shows now down in Houston, and she's kind of an example of a voice actor who kind of, just appeared out of nowhere with such talent. She's great. She has an incredible musical ear, and like the things she's able to render as an actor are very subtle and very sophisticated. And I hope she listens to this so that she knows how awesome she is. And she's only just getting started. That's the terrifying part. Look out for Avery Smith Hart, y'all. Look out.
All right, another high dive show that's still being worked on.
Yeah.
What is it like working on Bloom Into You?
Oh, Bloom Into You, another entry in my mission of seeing queer stories told. This show is so gorgeous, and it's a Yuri, which is unusual. It's an unusual event for a Yuri to get a dub. It's even more unusual for a Yuri to not have a bunch of like booby bouncing fan service in it. You know, that's what most Yuri is. Most Yuri in Japan is made for the boys. This one, however, there's no, gratuitous shower scenes or beach scenes or whatever. And like, it's telling a really sensitive story about young women coming to terms with their love for other young women. And it's, having grown up as a queer person and having to deal with the complexity of these emotions landing on you in your youth when you're not ready for it. I mean, we're never ready for it. You're never ready for love of any color, And this show, I think, is doing a really masterful job of illustrating sort of the inward agony of that process. And it continues to surprise me as we're still working on it. And we're still working on it. We got a couple of episodes left. I think 8 just went up, right, yesterday. And we got 4 more episodes on the way. And it's building to quite a heated climax. But yeah, I love working on that show. It's just beautiful. And the art is extraordinary, isn't it? It's just such a gorgeously rendered show. The original Japanese script is beautiful. Our script is being written by Marissa Lenti, who also wrote the script for Tada Never Falls in Love. And she is a writer through and through. I don't know if she realizes it. I don't know if you realize it, Marissa. You're very gifted. Very gifted. She's telling a very complex story in that script, and she's just doing it masterfully. It brings me to tears.
All right, so is there anything else coming out that you can talk about or anything you want to plug in at this time?
What I'm allowed to say is we are going to do a dub of Love Stage. That's coming. I can't tell you when, because I don't know. We're still in like pre-production. It's actually very unusual that they would let me make that announcement before production's complete. But Sentai is extremely, like, to say that they're extremely supportive of my hope to adapt and deliver more queer-centric material is an understatement. Like, they've been so supportive, so helpful, so encouraging. It's, it moves me very deeply that I've found the ally I've found in Sentai Filmworks. And so they said, yes, Dave, you can talk about it. So we did. We did an announcement video a couple of weeks ago, and everybody's a little up in arms about it. I don't think anyone as much as I am. I've been trying to get that show dubbed for like 3 years. It's gonna kill. Keep your eye out.
Will do. All right, and last question, and we always ask this one. Any Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any other social media for the fans to contact you?
Yeah, absolutely, all of them. I'm on all the Insta, Twittergram stuff. You'll find me under my own name on Facebook, David Wald _VA, I think, on Twitter and Instagram. But look for David Wald, and you will find me there.
All right, well, thank you again for this interview. Really, hi guys, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Ohio guys. You guys can't see all the sexiness behind the camera, but I'm looking at it, and I'm deeply moved. You boys, I'm buying you all dinner. You're gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Embrace me, Christian. It's very unprofessional to do that, but that's how we roll. Christian is good people. These Ohio guys are good people.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in for this episode of the Ohio Guys. Thank you all. I'm Christian.
I'm Dave.
See you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Power!